express,
expose,
ignite,
a movement,
offering a diverse and unique collective of philosophic perspectives,
promoting freedom of expression and providing a platform for the underrepresented. My name is Bethany Montgomery.
I'm Chuck Inspire.
I'm AJ the Wordsmith.
And we are Power to the Poetry.
Power to the Poetry is a performing arts organization specializing in spoken word. Our movement addresses topics which cultivate crucial conversations. We raise awareness to social, cultural, political, and personal issues, inspiring our audience to engage in dialogue and action for meaningful change. We express, expose, and ignite. So who's ready to be inspired?
All right. I think we're talking to the right crowd.
Yeah. All right. This first piece is a warm-up to get the good vibes going because Power to the Poetry thrives off of good vibes.
So some of you who may be familiar with poetry know that the best way to send some good vibes to us is with a snap. Let's hear some of those snaps. Okay, so if something resonates with you or moves you, or you're just like, yes, the best way to do that is just, like get into it. Yeah,
Woo.
Perfect.
You sure you want that kind of energy right now, Chuck?
Oh yeah, I want it all the time.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Warriors of Light!
We are a tribe of warriors of light, using positive energy to spread good vibes.
We believe love is the key to unlock peace.
Anything is possible. Nothing is out of reach.
There is a light within us all, but we must close our eyes to see.
When we look inside, we find our inner light, leading us in the direction which is always right.
The fire within eternally burns bright.
Because the good in us never truly dies.
So we fight on a mission that will last until the end of time.
Giving life to a guiding light in which the lost among us can always find.
Using our words to ignite humankind. Power to the poetry, the warriors of light. Thank you. So poetry is how I transform negative energy into positive creativity. This artistic expression has been an outlet for me ever since I was a little kid. But poetry has become my life in the recent years. Growing up, I was a hooper, I would ball up the girls and the boys. And, I got pretty good and I was able to receive a full scholarship to Eastern Washington University. Go East!
Woo! Eastern!
But unfortunately, my hoop dream ended there. My freshman year in college, during our first couple practices, my body didn't feel right. And it turned out to be 3 years of going to the doctors at least 3 times a week. What we found out is that there was a hole in my heart, and I had to have heart surgery, which ended my career and forced me to retire early. And that time was very dark for me, and in order to get through it, I turned to poetry. I was able to write my pain and my depression and all of my adversity. Poetry became my light, and it honestly saved my life. And now I'm motivated to using my voice and my words not only to help others, but also inspire people to reach out their hands and help, because we all need each other to thrive and survive. And poetry can help us all live our best life.
So I'm the newest member of Power to the Poetry. At first, I just saw these guys performing, and I was really moved. Sometimes I would cry. And I heard they were putting on a workshop. So I got a bunch of my friends together, and we all showed up at the workshop. And when we first showed up, I identified as a songwriter, but not necessarily a poet. And then I learned Bethany's research-based method for writing poetry about current events. And I realized that I had a lot to say. But more than that, I had a lot that I was afraid to say. I was angry, scared, and confused about current events and injustice. And before that, I'd felt so powerless and depressed and frustrated, and I didn't know what to do with all this energy. And luckily, I've been able to apply it to this movement and share it with high schoolers, share it with our communities, and hopefully just add energy to these really important causes. And beyond that, I've been able to share my experience as a non-binary, bipolar, and polyamorous person. I've been able to share my perspectives from sort of my little subset of humanity and build community with people who are like me and people who are different from me. Through poetry, I've been able to show up, share, and connect.
For me, poetry is a megaphone for those without a voice who are pushed away. Growing up as a kid, I was diagnosed early with ADHD, which often with my energetic self was kind of hard to deal with. Oftentimes, teachers found themselves not able to understand what I was saying or what I was trying to do. My mom, on the other hand, who always saw the intelligence within me, convinced me to sit down and write. Taking the time to write sentences, complete sentences, formulating punctuations and sentences that go about different ways of explaining who I am was the early first steps for me in poetry. Poetry for me was the opening. It was the icebreaker. It allowed for me to get to the first steps in my story to be told. It allowed for me to progress and be a part of a giant community that thrived off of unity. It was invigorating, which led to actions, which actions led to impactful change for not only me, but everyone else in my surrounding proximity. Poetry, for me, saved my life. Without it, I wouldn't be here today. Poetry is activism.
Poetry is free speech.
Poetry is radically authentic expression.
Now let us show you what we mean.
So this piece we're about to perform for you guys is inspired by New Year's resolutions. Raise your hand if you've made a New Year's resolution. Let me see those hands.
Oh, we got some honest folks in the house tonight. Respect for coming through.
So to be more specific, it's about selfish New Year's resolutions. You know, many times people make resolutions like wanting to lose weight, eat healthier, going to the gym, and those are all great. But what about the resolutions that are about community and being about something beyond ourselves, about being involved and fighting for what's right and equality and equal rights? A lot of people say, new year, new me, but we say, new year, same me. Maybe not here.
But now.
Someone is being ostracized.
Just because they're different.
Society has always excluded those who stand out.
Because they are afraid of the change that we preach in our campaigns.
Here are some names.
So join the truth.
Rosa Parks.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Ida B. Wells.
Malcolm X.
Muhammad Ali.
Tupac Shakur.
Need we say more? You see who we are.
But do you see who we reach?
Will society murder us because of the words that we speak?
It's a new year and nothing's changed. Still disadvantaged because of our race. If life was truly a race, no one would start at the exact same place. And I really wish we all could actually see pain so we may truly relate to the horrible agonies that people of color must face just because of hate. A new year does not mean change for how we are perceived in the in the divided states.
Ironic that the philosophy is all hypothetical hypocrisy. Do you follow me? Y'all act like it's cool to copy. Well, don't get sloppy. Start on page 1619 and not 2018. Play catch up for 400 years. Be treated differently for who you are and how you speak. Just because it's the new year doesn't give you an excuse to change your personality. From microaggressions to macro apologies, I hate being crucified for my philosophy.
You see, I could reach the masses while holding your conscience captive. You say you want to be woke. Well, I want to be free. No longer a slave to society. These shackles to be ripped off my feet. We're so blind as a nation. When will we ever see that the way to escape from the ghettos is not only to be an athlete? So forget your track meets and your basketball teams. Just like Martin Luther King, I have a dream that one day we won't have to run fast or jump high to be valued in everybody's eyes. We will reach for the skies, come together and unify. That one day we will truly be free and fight for equal rights for every single human being.
You see, we think we're free, but we're still under oppression from the colonizers' aggression as if we'll never learn our lesson. I wish I could take the time to ask you about your race or your religion without it sounding like hate. We are kings and queens with equal dreams. You would know that, but you never ask questions.
Are you like me, a product of privilege in 2018? Well, guess what? We don't get to be selfish if our ancestors stood on the backs of everyone else's. If we're safe in the streets from these murderous police, we must use this privilege to serve others. It's the least we can do. And I feel your mental illness, your guilt, and your stress, but if you've got a roof over your head in the Pacific Northwest, I know it's hard to admit, but this is as good as it gets. And I'm not saying that our tears don't count. We can all fill a cup with the same amount. But here's what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. We have a responsibility and an obligation in this lost and strained nation to dismantle the structures our grandfathers built that keep us on the top and keep other people out. The work is essential and it has to start now. So stop asking why me and start asking how can I be of service to my community?
So it would seem.
Our lesson is through.
So tell us.
Have you figured out what to do?
If so, then go now and be the breakthrough. Because maybe not here.
But now.
Someone is being ostracized.
Just because they're different.
Society has always excluded those who stand out.
Because they are afraid of the change that we preach in our campaigns.
Power to the poetry. Remember the name. Thank you. Thank you.
Aww.
But wait,
We're not
more.
done. You guys are really amazing.
I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you guys resonated with that
Thank
piece.
you.
So, power to the poetry is bigger than me or Chuck or AJ. It's bigger than all of us. It's a platform for all voices and fosters a climate of culture, diversity, and inclusion. Marginalized groups constantly deal with inequalities such as oppression, discrimination, racism, and prejudice.
This is unacceptable. We take responsibility for the disparities in our community by creating opportunities for meaningful change.
Power to the poetry advocates for what is fair,
what is true,
what is real,
and what is right.
We refuse to be silent.
Remember, your voice is a powerful tool.
So use it. Thank you.